Hey guys, it's Adam aka Swimming Bird, and welcome to the new snapshot for Minecraft 1.9. This is 15W34C and D, and it marks a major shift in Minecraft combat history. Grab your picks, your shovels, your axes, get those hoes out of storage because swords are no longer the undisputed kings of melee combat. That's because all four of the major tool types now have different attack speeds and damages. And they range on my hotbar here from fastest to slowest. We have hoes, pickaxes, swords, shovels, and axes. And this uses, as you can see under my little crosshair here, the new attack strength mechanic. So when this meter is full, you'll do max damage, but if you spam click, you're not going to do much damage at all. Now, because of these different attack speeds, all of these tools have their place in combat now. It's pretty cool. So hoes, as you can see, are by far the fastest. They only do a little bit more damage than before. This is my meter here, you can see. The black marks are half a heart, and the apples there are a full heart. So diamond hoes do 1 heart of damage, and all the others do about half a heart. So they're not that damaging, but they attack so fast that they're kind of like the new daggers in this game. Then we have diamond picks, which are only slightly faster than swords to charge up. Swords are in the middle, but they did get a new crowd control technique that is really cool, and I'll show you guys that in a second for dealing with groups. Shovels are quite a bit slower than swords, but they do slightly more damage. As you can see, they're a little bit more damaging, but that might not matter overall. We'll get into that in a second. And axes are on top here with the damage. Even the wooden and golden axes do more damage than a diamond sword. It's crazy. The axes are by far the most powerful for single hits, and they also have a new utility against shields that we'll show in a sec as well when we get into some combat. Now, the only downfall of the axe is how slow it is. You can see it takes quite a while to charge back up and do that max damage. So this is the chart. You can see the whole range there. It's pretty crazy. Now, I think overall we're going to see pickaxes and shovels probably won't be used for combat that much because overall they don't do that much damage. But if you get into a pinch where your sword breaks, you can use those to fight back a little more effectively now. The 3 weapons that are probably going to be used the most are the sword, the pickaxe, and then the hoe, which is very strange, but here is a little line of weapons, and this ranges from the most damage per second to the least of the top 11. These are the top 11 weapons here. And you can see the sword and the axe are on top, as expected. The 2 better varieties, the iron and diamond. But number 5 is actually the diamond hoe. So despite only doing 1 heart of damage, because you can attack so quickly and get that max damage back again, you can just keep attacking really fast. This is for people that like to be able to click faster in combat. You can still do a lot of damage very quickly there. And the hoe is actually a usable combat option, as crazy as it sounds. And then you can see there's kind of a good mix here of shovels and pickaxes, swords and axes there. Now, another thing to keep in mind is that the sword, when you have a successful attack, it suffers 1 durability. Now, the axes, shovels, and pickaxes all take -2 durability, so you're going to be using them up a lot faster if you do use them for combat. The hoe, right now, does not suffer any durability lost from doing an attack, and I think they're probably going to change that, because otherwise it might be a little too good. But yeah, this is a new range of different combat weapons that we can have now, and there are reasons, though, that you want to still use the sword, and I'll show you in a second, and the axe as well. They both have pretty nice new abilities. So let's grab my shield. We're going to turn it to night here, and then we're going to spawn a few zombies, and I'll show you why you'll probably still want to stick with a sword. Now, the good thing about having the axe is it has a nice special technique, mostly against players. I'm going to get this baby out of here because he's a little too fast. There we go. We're going to try to get a group of zombies going, and I'll put on my armor as well. Now, swords have a awesome technique for dealing with crowds, and we're going to go into survival, and you guys can see I'm going to wrangle up a few zombies. If you get stuck with a bunch of enemies around you, the sword is now going to help you out with its new sweeping attack. So watch this little particle here. You can see it sweeps out and actually knocks back any zombies that are within a certain area. It has 80% of the knockback power of a knockback 1 enchantment. So the only zombie I'm doing damage here to is the one that I'm hitting, but the other ones are suffering a bit of knockback to keep them away. So this helps with those little gaps in when you can hit. You can kind of space out your attacks a little bit and get those sword hits in when you can, but you also be able to survive because you get to knock them back. I really love the little sweeping effect. Now this only happens when you are either walking at a normal speed or crouching. So if you are dashing along to try to do those sprint hits or try to get a critical strike, you won't be able to do this. So you'll see I can jump and try to do that, but it's not going to do that knockback. You have to be kind of standing still or shifting. So it kind of helps with turtling up. Now another thing you just saw there, if an enemy attacks when you're blocking with your shield, it might knock them back. There's a chance that it will knock the enemy away. So that's kind of cool that using your shield has more of a use than just, negating 33% of the damage there. But yeah, it's a nice little utility to keep stuff away. There's a few new things in here because the developers have been listening. Getting overrun by monsters is not fun, so having these abilities to keep them away from you is nice while you're trying to space out your attacks there. Now, the shield, I've got a little clip here to show you. I needed another player to show you guys this technique, so I employed a secret ninja that has not been seen in quite a while. The shield has a new weakness because of axes. So if an axe gets in there and attacks your shield, it has a 25% base chance of making your shield go into a delay where it's disabled for 5 seconds. Now, you can increase this chance by dashing and hitting with the axe. It'll add 75%, so you'll have a 100% chance of disabling your opponent's shield if you dash in and hit it with an axe while they are blocking. And it disables it for 5 seconds, so you can dash in with an axe and then hit them with arrows. They can't block those once their shield is down. So there's all these new nuances to combat. Now you can increase that chance on your axe with efficiency levels. If you add some efficiency to your axe, then you will have 5% chance for each efficiency level. So you might not even need to dash in if you have a high efficiency axe. So there is that added benefit. Now the sword strike, I meant to tell you guys with that, it actually has a bit of a range to it. It's around 3 blocks of the attacker and 1 block horizontally, so it does need to be right around where you are when you hit, and it will do that little knockback. But yeah, as a combination, having the ability to break shields for a little bit with the axe and sweep your foes away with the sword, as well as hit them a lot faster with the diamond hoe. I could see a lot of people using multiple weapons at once. You could switch between them, get your axe out when you have, a shield in front of you that you need to break down, then get your sword for crowds and use your bow against anyone not blocking with the shield. And then you can also do the hoe if you want to go crazy and get in there for some quick attacks. So yeah, there's a lot of different nuances to combat now, and I really like it. I hope they add other weapons. I'd like to see a dagger that is similar to the hoe, but maybe has some other trade-off. It could do less damage like the hoe does, but have some other cool ability, like maybe slowing down your opponent or something like that. There could be a lot of new weapons in this, but I think their goal right now is trying to soup up some of the ones that we already have in the game. So as weird as it is, things like the normal axe and pickaxe and the hoe have new utilities now in the game. So you do want to use those now instead of just sticking to the sword. The last few things, ender pearls, now also have a cooldown. If you see my little ender pearl there, just like the shield, when it gets disabled, it has that little flash of white that counts down, and you can't use another ender pearl for that time period. The same works for the chorus fruit. So if you teleport with the chorus fruit, you have that little timer as well, so you can't just spam those over and over. And they also fixed the bug where the chorus fruit can teleport you on top of the nether, so you can't get through bedrock with this stuff anymore, but it's still kind of cool that it teleports you around. So there we go. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoy these new combat changes. I think it's really cool, and they're going to keep working on this until we find a happy medium. We're getting so many nuances that we never had, and combating just click spamming and macros in PvP. And I think it'll be a lot better overall that we're not just using swords and bows only. We've got some more options. I just hope they add some more weapons as well. Thank you guys again for watching. Please leave a like if you enjoyed this, and thank you to my secret ninja girlfriend for helping me out with that video. I will see you guys next time, though, for some more Minecraft.